Alright, so as you can still see, the mod still works. And a year later, it's not broken from where we left off. Of course, it's still broken, technically. Like, from where we left off, it's fine. So, there are a few new errors with all the new stuff. I don't think you really have to worry about these ones right now. We'll deal with that later if it has to. But for right now, we're just going to deal with these. If you're using the most updated version of my custom map tools, you might not have these issues. But if you still have these issues, I'll just show you how to fix them real quick. So, also, make sure you're in debug mode, of course. Just right click, game, manage, browse local files. Then also search up Paradox in your bar, or you can just go to Documents and Paradox Interactive. Click Hoi4, mod, your mod, history, countries, and as you can see, they're all blank. So basically, just go into here, go to, nope, not, history, countries, then copy the file of all of these. So ABK, look for that one. ABK, copy, paste that in, and then boom. Do that, and this line will go away, and then you just do it, repeat it for all of them. I'm not going to do that because waste of time right now. Yeah, so that was just a quick fix for that. Now we'll get into the main part. Alright, so this tutorial is on trees. My community has been expecting trees for quite a while, so we'll give it to them. Anyways, go into your mod, go to map, and we can see here for the trees file, it's pretty big, and we don't actually want it that big, because if you have it that big, all the pixel placements, it'll just put a lot of trees down on your physical map here, and those trees will cause like an insane amount of lag if you're doing it at this quality. Like, it's almost unplayable. So luckily we're still in here, so we can go to map, trees, and we can see how big this one is. It's 1650 by 600, and terrain map is that size. So if your mod map size is this big, then use this size, and if it's not, then just dial it down so that it's the same aspect ratio, but just somewhere similar to this size. Okay. Alright, but since my mod is this, we can just yoink, this, that, paste it in there, and let's get to editing. I'm going to use GIMP. You can probably use anything else like Photoshop. Alright, drag the trees in, and here we go. Now, you're going to want to grab your terrain. Yeah, terrain's the one. Alright, and obviously you got to scale this down, so go to the scale tool here. I think it was 1650 by, let's, yeah, 1650 by 600. That is, scale that down and line it up here. Up. Good. Alright, so now what we're going to want to do is over here, grab the select by color tool. So I'm just going to do the exact, because this is the forest color. So we're going to make a new layer here. Get rid of that for a second. Copy the color select tool. Copy that from the background. Boom. Alright. And actually select the color again. Make sure you're on the right layer, of course. And close that down for a second. So we got 3 different type of trees in the base game. I will be showing you how to make custom trees in the end, but of course it's not really needed. It's just for information. If you do want custom trees in the future, you can always go back and do that. So just grab any of these colors. This is pine. This is like a different type of pine. It's the same thing. It's just for like layering, I guess. These are like jungle trees, and the darker ones are the layering, and these are palm trees. So palm trees you use in like very small areas. You don't like clump them together big like this, but so start with this. Start with the light stuff here. That's still up. And go into your pencil tool. Alright. Set the size to 1. And click apply jitter. And select for a second so I can see. Create a new layer, and we'll just merge this layer into this layer later. Alright, as you can see with the jitter on, it will like make it so it's kind of like realistic and it's not all just like solid brick like that. Right, and we can just, without anything selected, you can just go right over this already, because we'll just cut out what we don't need later. Alright. Don't think there's, yes there is. Now we'll go back down here. We'll select the darker tone, add some layering. Make sure you actually do it on the right layer. Okay, it's all good. Now we'll go back into here, select color, disable all the other layers, select color, pick this exact color, the dark one, go back into this top one, click select, convert, then click your delete key. So now only stuff that is in these regions will actually be select. Will actually be there. Okay, for this one it's pretty small, so I'm gonna manually do this. This region. Alright. So these parts are going to have trees. That's mainly the only place you place those type of trees. Now we're going to want to place the jungle trees here. Back to the initial layer. Grab this color. Layer. Create a new layer because you don't want to delete this stuff as well. Now, sorry about that, redo it. Beautiful. Go here, color select the red, select, invert, and delete. Not on that layer though. Delete key. Perfect. Of course, we got to do the darker color as well. Right, back into here, color select, red, select, invert, click on the correct layer, delete, erase it, delete, there we go. Okay, see, our map is looking a little bit better. Got some trees forming, some trees. And for the last one, we're just going to individually place these without jitter because I don't really, you don't really need too much of this. So we're going to this layer, get first kind, create a new layer, palm trees, and we're going to place a few along the coast. You can obviously spend more time than I am right here as speed rushing this stuff. Make sure palm trees go on, they can go on normal land as well, but really they're for sand type areas and coasts, mainly coasts, throughout the game. You can obviously put them wherever you want. Alright, I think that's enough for me. So now we have our map. Add the dark ones. The variation. Now you don't have to put any type of tree you don't really want in there. It doesn't matter that much. Eyeball it. Here we go. It is done. Of our tree map, I'm going to click File, write trees.bmp. Of course, I'm going to relaunch. Now we're going to go nudge and pray that I actually remembered how to do this correctly. And as you can see, we have trees. Beautiful, beautiful specimen. Oh, look at them trees. Trees. More trees. Now, an issue you might come across is the towns are gonna have some trees over them if they're in a tree biome. So I will quickly show you how to fix that. It's not very hard. Go check the palm trees out. And extremely small. Alright, well, the trees over here got obliterated by Jesus or something. So we'll not worry about those ones. We got trees over here. But let's go fix that issue real quick. Really easy, just go into your mod. Alright, so I'm kind of an idiot, and I in this part I added the terrain.bmp in again. So you don't actually have to add in the terrain.bmp again. You can just use the original one you had and select the cities from there. You can merge these three different types by clicking merge below. Click that twice. Then click delete. Alright, now we also have to worry about the coasts. So go back into this one real quick. Select the background. Select grow by, let's say, 2. Should be good enough. Back into here. Click delete. Delete anything directly on the coast. We grow by 1 more. Here we go. Now, file, write trees.bmp, and we'll relaunch. Alright, nudge tool. See if it worked. Coasts, none of the trees are sinking into the water. That's a good sign. Okay, there's a little bit here. So to fix that, you can obviously just increase the radius from the coast, like repeat the process, and if there's any in the city still, just increase it by 1 or 2. They should go away. And that's basically it for this part of the video. Now, if you want to stick around and build your own custom trees and put them into the game, then keep watching the video. Alright, if you're sticking around, I guess you want to make custom trees, so get started on that. Anyways, we have a few folders we have to make. So we're in the Hearts of Iron and our mod directory, of course. So click GFX on both, and the first file we need to create is entities, and then there's a trees. So gotta create that in here. I mean, you could just copy the whole thing over, but you know, that's what I'll do because I'm lazy. Copy, paste. Don't keep the name that. Create everything but trees. You don't want to overwrite everything unless you are specifically working with it. As you can open up this, see we have all of the different type of trees. I believe these are the pine, these are the jungle, and these are the palm trees. So we'll just leave that be for now. Go back to GFX, and in your game directory, go to models. Yeah. Create a new folder. Models. Please spell it correctly, or it won't work. That. Create a new folder in that called map items. Open that. Open that. Another one called trees. And open. So just copy these 4 over. Now, I don't know anything about texturing, so we're just going to use the textures from this. If you do know how to texture, cool, you can do that. But I don't, so I'm just going to use these ones that it comes with. And they should work pretty decent for what I'm going to do. Alright, so open up your choice of any software that can make .dae files. Close that. Of course, you can model your own. I'm personally not going to do that right now because I've already modeled one. And import. You can import any file if you find a tree file online, which is you could just use that. But this is basically what the trees look like in like a basic sense. Is kind of what they look like. They're not really detailed because if you make them too detailed, your game's gonna lag up. So I will leave this to download. Of course, if you want to use this, it's basically just the jungle trees though, and so not really a point. But anyways, we'll go to File, click Export, and call it a .dae. We'll put that on our desktop so we can find it. Call it trees, the Z. Boom. Minimize that for now. So if you get any file, FBX, whatever, just make sure it's a .dae by the end of it. And now open up your Chrome, and there's this thing called Joro Docs Tools. I'm pretty sure it's unsupported, but it should still work. And it's for Europa, or whatever that game's called, made by Paradox, but it does work, so we're just gonna do it either way. And go to your mod, select folder as your directory. As you can see, you can go through all those. We will drop a file there. Our file we just made, the .dae. You can delete the other mesh. Go into here, VFX. Why haven't you updated yet? Oh, I picked the wrong one. Make sure you select the right one. That would probably help. VFX. Models, map items, trees. Click this. Okay, you can see it here. We're going to convert to PDX mesh. Now, if you can figure out another way to convert it to a dot mesh and it actually works, do that. I'm just doing this because it's basically the only way I could figure out how to. It took me like hours to figure that out, so you know what? Figure that out if you can. And actually, you don't need to do this part, but I do. Back in. Again, you don't have to do what I'm doing right now. Just need to know a couple things. So other, we'll just copy exactly just to make sure it works. This other, 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 paste all in there. So pretty tedious, but if you name these all correctly, if you rename these to trees underscore whatever, or your name underscore diffuse, your name underscore normal, your name underscore specular, it would autofill for you, but I didn't, so I'm gonna manually do this, and I'll see you when it's done. You can see as I do it, each individual item will slowly start to get their color. Alright, now it's all done. You can see the textures are on there. It's working all good. Save mesh changes to file. And it's as simple as that. We're done with this now. And if I didn't explain it, this is a Chrome extension, so you have to have Chrome, I believe. There we go. Now, if you did do that, you can delete that, of course. You can delete the .dae file if you want, or just move it over to your desktop. Keep it, because this is not going to be able to use in like Blender or whatever. I don't think so. Now, what we do is go to GFX, these.gfx, open this with Notepad++. Copy any of these lines. Alright, so I forgot how to do it, but I figured it out again. So basically, these numbers respond to some like index number, and I only know one way to get it, and it's through GIMP. So if y'all know another way how to get it, post it in the comments and I'll pin it because it would be very helpful. So basically, if you go onto, close that, you go onto your color picker tool, click, make sure use info window is on, and then you select a color like this. It'll show an index number right here, which is 29, and then there's 28, so 29, 28, 5, 6, and whoa, 5, 6, 28, 29. So, basically, you can just pick whatever color you want. I'm gonna use like basic red and just click it. So the index is 1. You go into here and boom. Um, you would not believe how long it took to figure out this. There's not a single documentation on how to do this anywhere. So if you wouldn't mind, you give the video a like, and yeah, that's basically it. So just save that. Now I believe I called it trees.mesh. Gonna double check. Wrong one. X models, map items. Basically, just make sure these two pathways are the same, which they are. So we're done with this part. Now we're back in here. I'm gonna actually this because I want it there. We're gonna find an island or something I want to do this on. Boom, right here. One. Right, so make a new layer, and let's just say this island's gonna have a special type of tree. Select wherever you want the trees to be. We're gonna shrink this by 1. So no, not grow. Shrink 2 now. Make sure you're on the new layer, not the previous one. Boom, just go crazy on the trees, however many you want, and just adjust it, play with it, keep checking in game to however you want it. Make sure it's not in your city, so I'm gonna actually move this above here so I can see. Go to the eraser, hardness 100, force 100. Just remove a bit of these that are close. Up. Alright.
Disable that for a bit. And I think we're done. Overwrite trees.bnp and we'll launch the game real quick. See if it's working. Alright, check nudge. You can see we still have these trees. I would probably add more, but I'm not going too crazy on this, so we'll leave it as it is. And here we have our disgusting little dirt ball trees, and they're not causing any lag, which is beautiful. So you could also, if your trees are too big, you can obviously play with the scale. Let me see. So these might be a little bit big, so I might do 0.75 or 0.5. But yeah, that's basically the entirety of trees. Sorry it took a whole year to make this video. I got busy with college. I'm in college now, so I don't know if I'm gonna keep continuing the series, but I did promise I did promise the tree video, so here it is. Alright. Thank you for supporting me. See you guys.